It's showtime. What's up, good people, and welcome to the Frank Harris Show, the biggest, the baddest, and the best show on earth. We got my boy Dominican E with us today. What's good,
on,
E?
Frank? We got a lot to talk about. A lot of stuff going on in sports.
Showtime. Showtime, E. So showtime right out the bat. All right, we're gonna talk about college football playoffs. We got some NBA talk going on. You know, a lot of good things going on. Some college basketball talk, E. But let's come out the gates and talk about the playoffs. Are you happy with the 12 teams that got invited to play in the college football playoffs? Are you happy with the 12?
I'm not happy with the 12. Obviously, my team didn't make it, so I'm not happy with it. But I mean, this.
Well, hold on. But did your team deserve to make it? That's the different question. You may be unhappy because your team didn't make it, but did your team deserve to make it? Different question.
I think my team was deserving of it. You know, I think they're deserving of it. But you know, we.
So what about Alabama? What about Alabama?
You know how I feel about Alabama, Frank. You know how I feel about them. I don't think.
So,
hey, let
me say this. Let me say this, E. It's abhorrent, right? How horribly they did with the 12. It's embarrassing. It's a travesty. If the objective is to get the best 12 teams on the field, okay, not even close. Indiana is in the field, Eric. We watched them. We looked at their schedule, E. They have no top 25 wins, as an FYI, okay? And when they did play against a top team, Ohio State, they looked like they were the JV and Ohio State was the varsity. There's no way Indiana should be in the 10, okay? Penn State, number 2. Same thing. I know you got to get Big Ten teams in there, Eric. I get that. But Penn State was terrible this year. And when you put them against top 25 programs, they lost. They also lost. They lost to Oregon in the conference championship, but you can't penalize them for that, okay? And they lost to Ohio State again. And we know Franklin, the head coach there, can't win the big game. He cannot win the big game. So there's no way Indiana and Penn State should be in ahead of Alabama. There's no way. And let me tell you this, Eric.
You don't say Alabama.
With the committee clearly
Alabama got 3 losses, so we can't.
It doesn't matter.
3 losses.
With the committee clearly signaled, Eric, is that they are not placing value, okay, on strength of schedule. Because if that was the case, there should have been 5 SEC teams in there. You have to place value on strength of schedule. While you're disincentivizing teams to want to go play against a good schedule, Eric, because ultimately, if you lose, you're in trouble.
Frank, Alabama got 3 losses, Frank. 2 horrible teams. They lost to Vanderbilt and to Oklahoma. 2 horrible teams. 2 subpar.
Vanderbilt wasn't horrible.
2 subpar.
Vanderbilt wasn't horrible. Oklahoma, yeah.
Oklahoma was, I think, 6-6. And I don't know. I didn't get Vanderbilt's record, but 6-6 is horrible, and I don't know Vanderbilt's record. So 2 horrible losses.
Hey, well, listen. Let's not just single out Alabama. You can talk about Miami too, but let me say this, Eric. Let me say this. Okay?
Miami lost a 2.
Right. You might have 2 horrible. Wait, hold on. Hey, you might have 2 horrible losses, right? But you also beat Georgia. Who's the best team in the country, you can argue. So, wait, hold on. Eric. The teams you beat in the SEC, I guarantee, Eric, they had 5 top 25 wins. I mean, what are we doing here? Indiana had 0. We got 5 top 25 wins. I mean, there's no way from a strength of schedule perspective, teams that are beating top 25 teams, right, shouldn't get in. The top 12, the objective is to put the best 12 teams in, Eric. That didn't happen. Let me ask you a question, Eric. On a mutual floor, on a mutual field, I have a question for you. Alabama lines up with Indiana. Mutual field. Well, who are you picking, E? Objectively speaking.
Obviously, Alabama going to be the favorite, Frank.
Obviously. You hear what you just said? Obviously. You said obviously. Indiana versus Miami, your team. Who are you picking?
You know I'm picking my Canes.
Objectively.
I'm picking my Canes.
But I mean objectively.
I'm picking my Canes.
Objectively. That's what I'm telling you, Eric. The best 12 teams are not in. They're not. It's a joke. And so what you're doing is you are penalizing almost strength of schedule teams. The big games, Eric, like a few years ago, before Texas was in the SEC. Texas, Alabama, big game, first game of the season. By the way, Florida, Miami, two good games. Teams might not play those games anymore because ultimately different conferences, and you know what? You lose those games and you behind the 8 ball. Notre Dame plays nobody all year long, Eric. Notre Dame plays nobody all year long. USC, garbage. Stanford, garbage. Army, Navy. Eric, come on, man.
Notre Dame, but listen, Frank.
Pitt.
But you know,
come on, Eric.
But you know that college football is, those big games are marquee games. You know, those big games early on are marquee games, and those are money games, Frank. Those are money games. So you got to have those games, Frank. You got to have those games. So we can't eliminate those big games and say, oh, because of strength of schedule, we're not going to schedule those games. First of all, the schedule's been out for 3-4 years already in advance. So those games are already set. Those games are already set. So, and those are big money games early on. Big money game. Alabama, Texas, Georgia, Clemson. Those are big money games. So you got to have those games. Well, I don't know, why would you eliminate, you say, oh, strength of schedule. I get all that. But like I said before, the schedule's already made 3-4 years in advance. So,
bro, let me tell you what, that's garbage. Okay? What's worth more money? You playing in the bowl, getting to the playoffs, or you playing in one of those games? It's not even close. You having a chance to play for the national championship and playing in those games is more important than the first game of the year, making money, right, for the organizations. It's way more money to be made in college playoffs. So if you weigh the two situations, it's way more money to be made going into the playoffs. So now you're going to tailor make everything you do to go to the playoffs.
We're dealing with huge corporations. We're dealing with huge corporations early on. The guys that financing these big games, these are huge corporations that are financing these games.
Hey, those same huge corporations are also financing the playoffs. What do you mean?
Listen.
And the university makes more money, and it's better for your team, and it's better for recruiting, it's better for your alumni, and it's better for your NIL collective, and it's your collective, and it's better for everybody for you to be in the playoffs.
I get all that, Frank. Listen, I'm not
not Clemson, Georgia in the beginning of the year.
All I'm disputing
Come on, bro.
You're saying eliminate.
You are disputing
all I'm saying
that.
is you're saying, oh, we should eliminate these non-conference games.
I didn't say we should eliminate anything. I said you're disincentivizing teams to play good out-of-conference scheduled games. That's a fact. The coach, listen, all the ADs are coming out saying that right now. So let's not act like I'm saying that's everybody's saying we're going to have to reevaluate teams that play in the SEC and play good out-of-conference games. Okay, those teams are going to have to look at, because realistically, you get enough opportunities to play against top 25 teams in conference. So why do out of conference? The SEC is so stacked.
All this pertains to SEC schools. It don't pertain to no other conference but SEC, because SEC feels like they're the most dominant conference in college football, so it pertains to them. Or we should not go out and play these non-conference games because we beat up on each other during conference play. I mean, listen, all these conferences are overrated. Like you talking about SEC is not that good like we used to seeing. You know, you got some teams. Come on, Alabama lost to Vanderbilt. Come on, Frank. Like, come on. Don't. They lost to Oklahoma. You know.
So no conference is good as we used to see. The Big Ten is not as good as we used to see.
Listen, Frank. Listen, Frank. Listen, I'm not.
Well, hold on. Every conference is down. Don't say SEC.
No.
Don't just say SEC.
SEC.
Every conference is down.
SEC is the marquee conference, Frank. It's the marquee conference because everybody relies and says how SEC goes is how college football is going to go. Everybody looks at the SEC as the marquee conference, and so we cannot just look at the SEC and say, oh, if the SEC is beating up on each other, we should change the way we schedule, or what I'm saying? Like, no, the schedule's already out. Play the games and compete. Or lose.
Yes.
That's the way I look at it.
Eric, why would I play a weak ACC conference team? The ACC's trash. Your Miami play. The ACC's trash. The ACC's trash. The Big Ten is way overrated. I mean, look at Michigan. 6-6 at some point.
The ACC is trash, and Georgia, Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech, which is a bottom tier team of the ACC, took Georgia to the brink. What are we saying? 8 overtime.
Did they win?
To hold on.
Did they win?
A superior Georgia team, 8 overtimes.
Did they win? So what?
Frank, listen, 8.
Eric,
don't say that, Frank. Don't say that. Now you're just going to be winning. Georgia was a superior team, and Georgia Tech took them to the brink. It took them 8 overtimes to win that game. A Georgia Tech team, which is
okay, you finished now? You finished now? Are you finished with the same point that you're making?
Right,
let me let you finish.
I'm listening to you now.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. So let me say 2 things. I never knew we were in the business of talking about, right, a team almost beat a team, number one. That Georgia won the game. It's a rivalry game, and you always say yourself, you always say anything can happen in rivalry games. Look at Ohio State, Michigan. That's 1. Okay? And Georgia still won. But 2, if you go there, all right, who won the ACC championship this year? Okay, Georgia Clemson head-to-head. What was the score?
43-3, I think it was. Or 40.
Oh, okay. 43-3, Georgia beat. So if you do that, if you want to compare conferences, when your best team played against the best team in the SEC, the score is 43-3. So don't do that.
Listen, a lot goes into the first game of the season. You know, a lot goes into it.
Oh, here we go. Are you the excuse man today? Georgia lost, and by the way, Georgia Tech beat Miami, or almost beat your team too.
No, they did beat us. They beat us.
Or beat your team, didn't? That's what I'm saying. So what are you talking about? They beat your bum team, your overrated fake Canes team. Who you lost to? Syracuse and Georgia Tech.
Which is
Stop.
Syracuse, which is a 9-3 overall record. Georgia Tech was shown they could beat good teams. Like, come on, Frank. Don't get it twisted. All the other conferences out there playing good football. You just focus on the SEC because that's what everybody looks at. What's my man name?
The SEC. So Eric,
all he does is ride the coattail of the SEC. What's his name? Paul Firebomb, whatever his name is. He should get fired. He should get fired.
Firebomb. Eric, can I ask you a question? So I asked you, Eric. So I ask you now. We got to switch gears. Let's talk about LeBron and the Lakers. But I asked you this question, Eric. Okay, was the ACC a good football conference this year?
They were good. It was good. Like every other conference was good.
Okay, so was the SEC down? Was the ACC down this year, Eric?
The ACC? No, the ACC was pretty good this year. We got a lot of eligible
how
teams.
Can you be good?
Look, Syracuse 9-3. Hold on, Syracuse 9-3.
Eric, hold on.
Duke,
hold on.
Which is a basketball school. Manny Diaz did a great job. I think they were like 9-3. I think as well. Clemson was good. Georgia Tech obviously was pretty good. Miami obviously was pretty good.
Georgia Tech was a 500 team.
They played good football. They play good football.
Eric, there are 10 teams in the SEC that are very good every year. There are 10 of them. Right. You got 4 teams in your conference. That's okay. Miami's garbage, trash. SMU's trash. Clemson is good.
I forgot about SMU.
Just so you know, Clemson and SMU are the only 2 good teams in your conference. If you want to talk about almost wins, Miami almost lost to everybody. No defensive playing team. All you did was try to outscore everybody and do this at the very end of every game because you just barely got away. You almost lost to Cal, Berkeley. I mean, come on. Trash. Wait, let's switch gears.
I'm going to give you the Cam Ward on you, Frank. Go ahead. Finish up.
Yeah, Cam Ward is going to be at home watching it on TV when the playoffs are here. All right, so anyway, let's switch gears, E. Let's talk about the NBA now, okay? You know, I'm out here in La La Land, Lakers, all right? Now, of course, the Lakers have hit a rough patch. As we all know, as I knew, you know, the guy, J.J. Redick, a little early for the job. It was what it was. The Lakers brought the same team back and expected a different result, which I never understand, right? You bring the same guys back. Okay, you were terrible last year, and you expect a different result. I asked this question, and LeBron James, by the way, is playing as bad as we've ever seen him play. Right, he's getting to the free throw line less than he's ever gotten to the free throw line before. Right, finishes at the basket are at an all-time low. Jump shots missing, shooting at an all-time high. And by the way, we get it. Father Time is undefeated. We are starting to see the decline, the sharp decline of LeBron James. And by the way, he's getting stats really based upon the fact that he's in a game and it's high usage. J.J. Redick is his guy. J.J. Redick puts the ball in his hands. high usage, so he'll get stats, but he played a terrible game. And by the way, Ian, let me just add this last piece. Everybody's saying they want Anthony Davis to step up and become the guy for the franchise. And I agree on that. But it's impossible to do that if you don't allow him to get the ball in his hands most of the time. They started the year that way. They ran the offense through AD, and AD had MVP numbers, okay? Then as the year progressed, we got back to LeBron James holding the ball, and always trying to make the play. Anthony Davis is not getting the ball anymore, and the Lakers are trash right now. Just trash. Just trash. Give me your thoughts on it, E. On LeBron, AD, JJ Redick. Talk to me.
Father time is father time, but LeBron, obviously we've seen a decline in this game. But as of right now, the Lakers are right now standing eighth. They're in eighth place right now with a 13-11 record. So it's not, the downfall, as we say, is the downfall of the Lakers, but they're still in playoff contention. So I don't agree with some of the stuff that you said about as far as the Lakers and the team should be running through Anthony Davis, stuff like that. I think it should have more of a team concept with a lot of guys is getting off. The kid from Tennessee who's having a
what? But do you know basketball? What do you mean you don't agree that the team? LeBron James said the team should run through Anthony Davis. What are you talking about? Everybody says that. JJ Redick says it. Everybody says that. LeBron says it. JJ Redick says it. Everybody says that. What do you say? You disagree with that? And by the way, Lakers in the AC.
The team Anthony Davis should be the focal point, but it should be more.
Oh, now you change it. Don't change now. Now you change it.
More guys involved in the offense. The kid from Tennessee is having a great rookie year. He's pretty good. Getting him involved, getting Austin, or what's his name, Austin Reeves, those guys involved. Just not rely on Anthony Davis because we all know he's not reliable. You end up getting hurt. So you need more team involvement, more player involvement. You know what I'm saying? To uplift the team. That's all I'm saying.
Eric, no one says just rely on one player. No one ever says that. Just because you run your offense through a player, it doesn't mean you rely on one player, bro. What are you talking about? Every team has a guy that, hold on, Eric, hold on. Every team has a guy that they run their offense through. It doesn't mean you don't rely on other players as well. Running your offense through Anthony Davis. Eric, can I finish? Eric, let me finish what I'm saying. Anthony Davis, you can run your offense through Anthony Davis, but still get other guys involved. It doesn't mean that. When LeBron James says, we got to run our offense through AD, it doesn't mean that other guys don't get involved.
Frank, I'm saying the bulk load, hold on.
That's not your point.
The bulk load is going to be run through Anthony Davis. I'm saying we should be able to.
That's not what you said, though.
I said we should be able to get other guys involved. That's my thing. Yes, running through Anthony Davis. Yes, but I'm saying.
That's all I said. So, time out, Eric, hold on. Let's rewind for a second. I said running through Anthony Davis, and you said you don't agree with that. Right now, you're saying run. I said running through Anthony Davis. You said, hold on. You said I don't agree with running it through Anthony Davis. They should share the ball. Everybody should get the ball.
It's on tape.
You did say that. We can rewind. You said I don't. All I said was they should be running through Anthony Davis. I didn't say no one else should be involved. Every team runs through a superstar. When LeBron James was in Cleveland, when LeBron James was in Cleveland, everybody was involved. Jokic, they run through Jokic. Jamal Murray, everybody's involved. What do you mean? Everybody runs through a superstar. What do you mean?
Right. Everybody.
I don't got to clear it up. I said that the first time. I said it the first time.
To a superstar, Anthony Davis. You're absolutely right. All I'm saying is.
Right. Okay. So what do you disagree with?
All I'm saying is yes, but I'm also saying that he's not a reliable guy that you can trust to be able to carry the bulk load of the offense because eventually he's going to get hurt. I'm saying we should be able to get other guys involved.
He hasn't gotten hurt in 3 years. Stop saying he hasn't gotten hurt in 3 years. Stop running with that narrative. That's an old narrative. He played almost all the last year, the year before that, and he's not hurt this year. Stop with that old narrative.
Anthony Davis, we all know.
That's the old narrative.
He's not
reliable. No, we don't know that.
I know he's not reliable.
So when's the last time he's hurt? For long periods of time, Eric? 3 years ago. Stop running with that narrative.
How many games did he play last year? Almost
all of them. Look it up.
I don't think he played all of them.
What do you mean? He's always hurt. That's the old narrative.
Listen.
I didn't say all of them. I said almost all of them.
All I'm saying is, Frank, yes.
But by the way, Eric, and then you saying AC, that's not Laker basketball. The sky's falling in LA when the Lakers are 8th seed. Everybody's going crazy. Magic Johnson, all of the Lakers greats. Don't say everything is cool because the Lakers are in the 8th seed right now. That's not the expectation for the Los Angeles
Let me
Lakers.
ask you a question.
Come on, bro.
The
What are you
last couple
talking
of
about?
years, what have the Lakers been placed as far as playoff seeding as we know it as today with all with the playing games and all that? The Lakers always been at the bottom of the seeding, 7, 8.
We agree.
Okay,
I agree with that.
Then they'll make their way into the playoff. So don't expect them to say, "Oh, we're going to make a jump and now be the number 1 team in the West." That's delusional. That's delusional. If we see the pattern of consistency of them being at the bottom of the West and making the playoff through a playing game or getting the 7th seed, so now don't expect them to say, "Oh, make that jump and say, oh, now we're a top tier team." Come on, Frank. You out there not like you should know that.
So let me be clear. Let me be clear, right? That was the last 2 years. That's not be consistently number 8. That happened just the last 2 years, but that's fair. But the point I'm making is this: the Lakers have a different expectation. We understand that. That's why in the beginning of this segment, I said, bruh, the Lakers have the same team, but they expect a different result. I opened this segment by saying that. Okay? So I'm agreeing with that. Same team, but expect a different result. I opened this segment by saying that. So what are you saying? I opened this. Hold on. I opened the segment by stating how delusional the Lakers are. All right, but I opened by saying that. So therefore, the Lakers have a different. And by the way, let's get to LeBron James. LeBron James is falling off that cliff, bro. Right? And so the question is, and by the way, it's ironic. Let me tell you what's ironic about the great LeBron James. Every day he passes a new record because he's been in the league for so many years. But let me say this. It's ironic that he signed off of social media. I go back to that again. When his game is doing like this and Bronny James' game is doing like this, right? Both of them. Bronny James, and I don't know what the Lakers development is doing for Bronny James. Poor kid. What they're doing for him is crazy, right? In terms of development.
They had a good game, Frank, the other day, so.
Good game where?
He had a good game, Frank. He played a good game.
Well, what team? Anyway, like I said, everybody knows that. So, but listen, but listen, that kid again. I got to shout out him because he seems like a very well grounded kid. I think I always say that. But LeBron James's game is falling off the cliff, right? And everybody's saying LeBron needs more help. That's what the narrative is. Perk and all these guys. LeBron needs more help. LeBron got to come up off the ball, all right? And JJ Redick got to come up with something more creative. Because if you watch the Lakers play, it's stagnant. LeBron can't get downhill anymore, okay? He's launched, at one point, Eric, he was 0 for 20, I think it was, from 3. Over like a 3 or 4 game stretch, the guy was 0 for 20, right? And we know LeBron James is not like this prolific three-point shooter, right? But you got to, and part of what you just said was, you got to get off the ball, LeBron, and move the ball. Dalton connect, right? You're right, Dalton connect. He hooping. Reeves hooping. But all you're doing is standing in the corner waiting for LeBron to hold the ball for the whole possession, okay? And then either run a screen and roll with AD or take a jack-up crazy three-point shot or a fadeaway two-pointer. Terrible, Eric, just for the record. Terrible, right? Terrible. LeBron James, listen, everybody told me LeBron James could play 5 years. Tom Brady messed it up for everybody. Tom Brady played until he was old, 42 years old. Everybody thought that was the norm. You look at Brett Favre right now, fell all the way off. And now you see it with LeBron at 39. He's not even 40 yet. Or maybe he's 39, I believe he is, right? Brady messed it up. LeBron James is on the way down right now. So let's see how he adjusts his game, Eric, right? Adjust his game to Father Time. He has to change the way he plays, Eric.
I believe he has to change his game. I think he has to, play more in the mid post. You know what I'm saying? Instead of always coming, getting the ball, always trying to drive to the basket. It takes a toll on his body. I know he takes care of his body, but I mean, an 82-game season, and you drive and get to the mid post. Take a load off some of that pressure of driving to the basket all the time. You know what I'm saying? Get to the mid post. Post up a little more. Do those things. You know what I'm saying? Even Jordan had to change his game. So as the season progressed, I think LeBron will make that adjustment. I think he will. Make that adjustment and change his game the way he plays, because I don't think the way he's playing right now at 39 years old is gonna last a season of just driving the ball to the basket every time. So
Yeah.
And then you got to surround him with shooters. You got to
So
surround him with some shooters that'll help him. And
Dalton
yeah,
Connect is a shooter.
open
Reeves is a
a little bit
shooter.
for him, for the driver lanes to be a little bit more open for him. So those are the things that I look for. It's still early. We're not even at the All-Star break, so let's see how the Lakers continue to progress. Right now, they're
It
let's
ain't
not
that
let's
early.
not let's not get ahead of ourselves. I'm not a Laker fan, but let's not get ahead of ourselves, and say that the Lakers, are a team that's disappointing. Let's see how the season continues to progress.
They're definitely disappointing. So we ahead of that's a fact. But anyway, switch it. No more Laker talk, bro. Look, what about this, E? You ready?
I'm listening.
True or
Yeah, I
false,
got you.
E? Jimmy Butler gets traded from Miami before the season is
True.
over. Miami staple, right? Miami
Yeah.
player, almost got him to the championship. But these teams will chew you up and spit you out quick. Butler was playing by himself for all these years, right? Big time player. Riley didn't re-sign him in the offseason. The writing was on the wall. So Jimmy Butler's out in Miami.
That marriage is over. That marriage is over. It's time to get a divorce. It's time for Jimmy Butler to move on. Hey, the Lakers might be a good situation for him.
All right, Jimmy Butler's out in Miami. Hey, true or false? The Milwaukee Bucks are a championship contender.
Wow. Championship contender. Wow. I'm gonna say true just because Giannis is a dog. I'm gonna say true because Giannis is a dog. I'm gonna say true. I'm gonna say true on that.
So absolutely true. They're absolutely championship contender. Giannis is the MVP this year so far, right? If the MVP vote stopped today, Giannis would absolutely win it, right? Giannis is the MVP.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he's
right?
He's an ultra competitor. So you can't say he's not. They're not going to be in the championship contention just because of his demeanor, his nature of just competing night in, night out. I think that they will be. They are a contender. They are a championship contender.
True or false? The Knicks are a contender.
The Knicks, yes, I believe in the Knicks too. True. I'm going true on that one too. True. I'm going true on that one.
So I got four contenders. I got four contenders in the East, right? We got the Celtics, the Cavs, the Knicks, and Milwaukee. Those are my four contenders in the East, right? Question E. Are the Denver Nuggets done as we know them? Championship, caliber team, that level of team.
Are they done? Nah, because the West is weak. So
well, done in the championship conversation. Done as relates to the championship conversation.
Championship, winning the NBA championship, or just coming out the West?
Yes. Are they done? Because everybody for years thought the Denver Nuggets were the best team in the West.
So again, let me.
Are they still a championship caliber
win
team?
The NBA title.
Are they a championship caliber team?
So. They still got some. They still got some players that can get it done. I mean, Jamal Murray, those guys. Porter, those guys.
No way, E.
I think those.
No way. Murray, I don't like Murray.
They still
Murray's
got Jokic.
overrated.
They still got Jokic. I mean, I think that team is still intact to make a deep run. Again, I don't. When you say championship, you're saying about NBA title or getting out the West?
Well, getting out the West, I mean, that's a championship caliber team. If you get out the West, you're a championship caliber team.
Getting out the West, they're in the mix.
Hey, let me say this. This is the example of what happens when you max out too many players and what have you, and a new salary cap. All right? The Denver Nuggets are done. And Jamal Murray's overrated. I've never been a Jamal Murray fan, as you know. Right? Jokic is fantastic. Okay? But Eric, they couldn't sign the bench players. Bruce Brown, gone. They lost so many of those pieces. And they got these young guys. Peyton Watson, not good enough. The other Braun kid that went to Braun kid that played for Kansas. Westbrook now. These other guys, Eric, okay, the others are just not good enough and they're going to struggle. All right?
Hold on.
True or false?
Hold on. I'm always the guy that always believes in the others. I'm the guy that say the others. Now you're saying what I'm saying, the others? you always say,
Eric, you need guys off your bench.
You always say we need superstars to win championships. I always believe a combination.
Why am I not saying that? I'm still saying that. You got Jokic, but you can't win without other players. What do you? I mean, come on, bro. I mean, you rely on your superstars to start with. Superstars win championships, but you need to surround them with decent players. That's a fact.
Okay. You the lawyer,
That's a
so I
fact.
don't know.
So,
You
question.
your words, because one minute
Question.
you say others,
Is
and you
Memphis?
saying superstars, so I don't know. But you need others, and I think
I'm very clear. So I very clearly define what I mean. Clearly, correct? I just said superstars win you championships, right? But you need others to play their supporting roles. Especially you need guys coming off your bench that can give you some energy.
I think Denver,
right? So I'm
think
thinking
Denver
about
still got a chance because they got some other players that could contribute.
So I think
other players that could contribute. The kid,
no
Kid
chance
Palm
in
is
my
okay. He's
opinion.
a good, decent player. Murray's still good, high level player. Porter is good. What's the other kid that went to Arizona? What's the other kid? Light skinned kid. He's pretty. He's pretty good.
Yeah.
So they got some nice pieces around them, and they got a superstar that they can make a run at the West. The West is weak, so I think they can make a run.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. E, question: is Ja Morant back to being the top point guard in the NBA?
Ooh. I mean, he's yeah. I mean, some of the stuff he did the Dominique in-game dunk. That was amazing. So
Right.
I mean, yes.
So Ja Morant is the best point guard in the NBA for me. Ja Morant is the best point guard in the NBA. He's back. Ja Morant is back. Unless, well, let me say this. This is the argument. Unless you call Shea a point guard. Because if you call Shea a point guard, you got to give him that.
So what do you call Luka then?
A wing, right? A wing guard. I mean, because if you call Luka the point, so is Kyrie the two?
Yeah, Kyrie could be the two.
So is Kyrie a two guard? Yeah, I mean, and by the way, Luka's been, but I think Ja Morant, I think Shea's the best point guard if you put him at the point.
Don't get me wrong, Ja Morant is great, but a lot of times we get caught up with the oohs and ahs of Ja Morant, and we get caught up in that and the oohs and ahs. Like I said, he had a spectacular dunk. He did the Dominique Wilkins in-game dunk, which was phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? Over Porzingis, which is a good defensive player, protects the rim. You know what I'm saying? We get caught up in the oohs and ahs with Ja Morant, and we forget he's a below average shooter. You know what I'm saying? So is he the best point guard? I don't say he's the best point guard, but he's a guy that we should be watching. He's must see TV. He's must see TV.
Eric, you say I get caught up in the oohs and ahs. Just for the record, OKC is number 1 in the conference. Memphis is 2. Last year they weren't even a playoff team. So let's not get caught up in the oohs and the ahs. Right now they're number 2. Hold on. They're the 2 seed right now in the West. And Ja Morant came back. So that's not just oohs and ahs, bro. That's substance. They're the number 2 seed right now. And by the way, remember when Ja Morant, before he got suspended, they were at the top. Remember, they were number 1 in the West. So therefore, you take Ja Morant out, and they're not a playoff team. You put them back in right now, and they're 2. That's substance. That's just not highlight.
Let's not do that. Let me ask you this. Hold on. So let me ask you this.
Let's not do that.
Are you a believer in Memphis or no? Are you a believer?
No, I don't think they're a championship caliber team. I don't. I never thought that. But Ja Morant is a great player. But no, I don't think Memphis is a championship.
Right?
Second in the West, correct.
And you're saying
yes, behind OKC.
You're saying you're not a believer. You're not a believer in Memphis.
I didn't believe when they were first in the West. Remember, I never believed. I don't believe in them as a championship constructed team.
You can take all that oohs and ahs with Ja Morant. That's cool. It's pretty.
But no, but it's not just oohs and ahs, Eric. He's winning games. He's winning games because Melo Ball is oohs and ahs too, but he's losing. Ja Morant is oohs and ahs and he's winning. There's value in winning.
And when he plays, his team does play well in the regular season. I just don't believe. Okay,
they win.
I just don't believe that they can win in the postseason. I mean, it's great for TV. Ja Morant is great for TV.
Okay,
great for TV. Oohs and ahs. I just don't think that they can win in the postseason. Now, it's good for the NBA.
Okay, fair enough. E, let's switch now. Let's talk about college basketball. As we're talking about, the college basketball season is underway, okay? And so, E, there's this debate about who's the number 1 pick in the draft. There's this debate about Cooper Flagg, who I know you're not a big fan of, Cooper Flagg, okay? and me and you debate about this, and I don't understand what people expect from Cooper Flagg. Okay, people say, "Oh, you can't just throw him the ball and he can go get you 30 points." But guess what? At one point during the season, and this may still be the case, he was leading Duke in 5 statistical categories: rebounding, points, steals, assists, and blocks. 5 statistical categories he was leading Duke, right, with all these great players in. The guy is having a phenomenal season. Phenomenal for me. What he's doing is fantastic. All the pressure, etc. Yeah, is he a guy that you give him the ball and he can go one-on-one and do? That's not his game. He reminds me, Eric, and I know everybody's going to get upset when I say this, but he reminds me of Kevin Garnett. Excuse me. He's Kevin Garnett-like. His defense is elite. He'll be an all-defensive guy in the NBA, right? Offensively, he just does everything. He can pass. He can score inside. He can score outside. The guy is playing great basketball, right? Now, do I think he's going to come into the NBA and be a superstar? I don't know that. But I got the first pick. I'm taking him. Everybody's talking about Ace Bailey. I like Dylan Harper too. But if I got the first pick in the draft, it's not even debatable, bro. It's Cooper Flagg by a long shot. Give me your thoughts, E. I know you don't think he's having a great year. Give me your thoughts, E.
The kid's only 17 years old, so let's put that in perspective. He's only 17 years old playing college basketball. As we know today, college basketball is a much older game now because kids are staying longer. He's only 17 years old, number one. Number two, he's having a decent season. When I mean decent, I mean, hold on.
Decent?
There you go. Jumping the gun.
How can you say that, bro?
There you go, jumping the gun. He's having a decent season.
Lead Duke in 5 statistical categories.
He's playing good basketball. I just think, when I saw him in high school and I saw him play, I thought he had more wiggle to his game. Now watching him in college, I was in Atlanta watching him. He's kind of like robotic at times when he's playing, like off the bounce. So I don't know how good he's going to be in the pros, but he's having, I won't say decent, he's having an above average season. How about that? Above average.
So, hey, just so you know, I pulled up the stats just for you. You said the man was having a decent, now you're changing. At Duke. Well, hold on. Okay. At Duke, 7, and they played an amazing non-conference schedule to start with. 17 points a game, 9 rebounds, 3.8, almost 4 assists. How's that not a great year at Duke? 17, Eric? 17, 9, and 4?
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, how can that be an okay season, bro? Like, what y'all expect the man to do? He's not going to come into Duke and get 25. That's not how it works at Duke.
That's pretty good. I mean, compared to other superstars that come in,
that's amazing.
Other superstars that's coming to Duke and play right away, the Kyries of the world and the John, what's my man, Fat Boy, the Zion, and all those kids that's coming to play at Duke right away. He's having a good year. I mean, I'm taking it back. He's having a good year.
So just so you know, okay, I'd like you to take it back because you went from decent to okay to good now. Okay, so I see you trending in the right direction. Okay. Just as an FYI. Yo, by the way,
when I saw him like in person, in live, when I was down in Atlanta, I mean, I thought he had more wiggle to his game because I remember I told you, I was like, yo, I like Cooper Flagg because he got wiggle to his game, but now at the college level, he's not able to get off like that. Like he doesn't create that much space off the bounce. So I don't know what position is.
He's 6'9". That's not his game. He's a guy that does everything on the floor, right? He's not a guy you throw the ball. He's not a guy you throw the ball to on the wing and say operate. And that's okay. But he's a guy that got offensive rebounds, knock down a jump shot, run the floor, post up, like, make the right pass, make the right play great defense. Like that. You need those guys, E.
Okay.
So let me ask you a question. So if you were drafted, would you take Ace Bailey ahead of him?
Of course you
or
take
Harper?
Of course
you
you take Cooper Flagg over. You know what I'm saying? Of course you take Cooper Flagg. I'm just saying, the kid is okay. He's all right. I mean, what's the kid from Utah? He reminds me of him. What's the kid that went to Arizona? Marklin, what's his name? He was in Chicago. What's the kid name?
Bro, are you just comparing to somebody because of his race? I mean, he plays nothing like Lauren Marketing. Lauren Marketing is a 3-point shooter, bro. Cooper, I mean, what's wrong with you, bro?
I can't compare to a black guy.
Come on, dog.
I can't compare to a black guy.
I did. Kevin
I don't
Garnett.
think he's. I don't think he's Kevin Garnett. I don't think he has. I don't think he's that.
Okay, but I mean, but he definitely in Lauren marketing.
Lauren Markin is pretty good, Frank. What are you talking about?
It doesn't matter. He's not good, but they have completely different games. Lauren marketing is very good, but Lauren marketing plays outside. Cooper Flagg is not a guy that's going to come up and shoot three. That's not his game. Lauren marketing plays no defense. The thing that Cooper Flagg, the most translatable skill that he has is defense for the NBA. So Lauren marketing plays no defense. So that's a horrible comparison, by the way.
Yeah, I was going based on
outside of skin.
I was going based. I can't compare him to a black guy. I just can't. I don't see the comparison. But I was going based on.
And by the way, I think Ace Bailey has potential to be a very, very good player. I really like Dylan Harper too, though. Right? Like I'm not sure if I wouldn't take Dylan Harper ahead of Ace Bailey. Dylan Harper has been probably the best point guard in college basketball and maybe the best player so far this year at Rutgers. 235-point games, lefty, very Jalen Brunson-esque, but bigger, 6'6", right? Strong, gets to the hole, right? Lefty. I like his game, E. If I need a point guard, I'm drafting him early in the draft.
He's pretty. I like him too. He's good. He's good. I like him. I like him.
Solid.
I like him. I wouldn't compare him to. I wouldn't compare him to Jalen Brunson, but he's pretty good.
Who are you comparing him to? Let me guess. It must be a mixed guy, right? Because he's a mixed race guy, so it got to be a guy like that, right? So you like, well, why not Brunson? They're the same complexion. I mean, that's how you like to do it. It sounds like. You're unbelievable, bro.
I was gonna say DeAndre. What's the kid from Sacramento? Fox. I was gonna say like Kim.
Wait, are you sleeping?
DeAndre,
yeah, I don't understand how you make it. Fox is probably the fastest guy from end to end with the ball. This kid plays with no speed. He plays with pace, right? Fox is the fastest point guard probably in the NBA. How would you the only thing they have in common is they're both lefties. Fox is like the road runner. Fast, lefty, super fast. This guy plays slow with tempo. How can you compare those two players, bro?
That's comparable. You can compare them. They both lefty. They both can shoot. They both.
Neither one of them can shoot. Neither one of them can shoot. But are you watching the games? Fox can't shoot.
What are you talking about, Frank?
No, he cannot. He's not known as a guy that can shoot. He's a driver. And so is this other kid.
Shoot the ball, Frank. He's not a consistent shooter. He can shoot the ball.
But you sleeping.
How you talking about?
Today you sleeping,
Frank? Just because you're not a 40% shooter from the outside of them and you can't shoot, he can shoot the ball.
Fox is.
If
you were defending Fox,
he's a driver.
That's what I point to. So either one, and same thing with this other kid, Harper. Harper's a driver. He's not a shooter. Neither one of those guys are guys. The scout report against both of those players are you back up off them and don't let them beat you to the basket. The scout report is not like great shooters, so get up any shot. What do you mean? And one is fast and one is slow. They have totally different games. Harper plays way more like Brunson than he does Fox. You tripping.
I don't see that comparison, but I mean that's your comparison. I don't see that comparison.
But you see the Fox comparison.
We both lefties.
Eric. What hand does Brunson shoot with, Eric?
Lefty. Both of them lefty. All three of them lefty.
There you go. I mean, Brunson's a lefty too. If that's the comparison. But anyway, well, listen. Good talk today. Some football, some basketball. Football, basketball. Last thing, I know we're running low on time, but I want to talk about this. The Philadelphia Eagles are probably the second best team in the East right now, in the NFC with basketball talk, right? The second best team in the NFC. Probably you got the Lions first, right?
Yes.
And then you have the Eagles. They're probably playing as good as they've played, arguably, outside of when they won a Super Bowl, right? But they're playing phenomenal. MVP, and they got the MVP. And so they've clearly switched to a defense run type of offense, and it's working for them, right? And now there's issues between A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts. A.J. Brown and also Devonta Smith, are complaining about the passing game. They're not getting the ball enough, right? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now, Eric, I can't understand these guys, right? Instead of being happy for what's going on and winning, is it really appropriate to be complaining now about not getting enough touches as a wide receiver when Saquon Barkley is the best player in the NFL right now and the Eagles are playing better football than they played for years, Eric? Can you please explain to me how selfish A.J. Brown and Smith
Frank,
sound right
we
now?
all know wide receivers are divas. It's me. Give me the ball. 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 I'm always open. So, I mean, it is what it is. The wide receivers are divas. They want the ball all the time. They're always open, right? Instead of just being happy that the team is winning with the formula of running the ball and playing great defense, which is my formula of winning football. You don't like it, but I know that's my formula of winning football: defense and running the ball. And they got the
I don't understand why you gotta put it in what I like or don't like. I don't mind that kind of offense. I mean, there you go again. I never said I don't like that. There you go again. Just because you like something don't mean that I disagree with it. Most of the time I do, but not when it comes to the way the Eagles are playing right now. Because by the way, honestly, right, Jalen Hurts. I don't think Jalen Hurts is a great quarterback. I've always told you that, right? And so you better off when you running the football and you're not tasking Jalen Hurts with the responsibility of throwing the football all over the field. They tried that last year and it didn't work. Right? They had that one aberration year, in my opinion, and everybody gave Jalen Hurts all his money, and then he tried to prove to everybody he's this great passer. He's not.
I
Okay? When they
always
get
do that.
to
I always do that. Even when he played at Alabama and he played at Oklahoma, he's a guy that can win you some games with his legs, right?
when
Make some throws every now and then, right? Every now and then, make some throws. But his best attribute is making plays with his legs outside the pocket, making some reads, making some nice throws. And now you got Saquon or do all back, which he can run the ball. You can get him out the backfield, throw the ball to him. You know what I'm saying? And he can make plays himself. So it's a perfect combination for Jalen Hurts to be successful, right?
That's and so, but it's just crazy. Week 13 in the season, and you have the record that the Eagles have, and you're playing the football that you're playing. That these wide receivers are complaining, and it looks horrible. And then Jalen Hurts is clearly offended, and he's upset. Him and AJ Brown used to be like best friends. I don't know if you noticed, right? But AJ Brown's daughter, Jalen Hurts, is, I believe, AJ Brown's daughter's
Yes.
godfather. AJ Brown's daughter is his his goddaughter, Jalen Hurts. And now you got Hurts arguing with Brown week 13, and they're playing probably as good a football as they've ever played. Right? It's amazing egos, Eric.
With this whole right, you're messing up the chemistry
Crazy.
of the Philadelphia Eagles, which are playing great football. Shout out to Gilly. He's a fanatic with the Philadelphia Eagles. So they're playing great football, and now you're messing this up because you are goddamn individual, which is it's all about me. Give me the ball. Give me the ball. Give me the ball. Give me the ball. I'm always open. He sounds
unbelievable, by the way, Eric.
Ocho
Unbelievable.
Cinco. Ocho Cinco had a saying, he like 7-11. He was always open. But anyway, I'm just saying, listen, the Philadelphia are playing great football. That formula seems to work with them, and Jalen Hurts is having a good season with this formula. Hopefully, they can take it all the way to the Super Bowl.
And they got the best player in the game, arguably, who the Giants messed up blue, obviously. They got the best player in the game, E. So anyway, E, I got to say this, E. Shout out. Listen, I'm going to give you a Dominican. Can I give you a Dominican shout out today, E?
You could do that, yeah. I know you. And you called it. You called it, and I know where you're going with it.
Yeah, I know E. I got to give you, I love when you shout out your Dominican brothers and sisters, E. That's a very important thing for me, but I got to shout out. Let me do the shout out. Yeah. Juan Soto. Oh, my goodness, E. 700 is the biggest contract, 60 million. Woo! Is it 765, right, E? Or is it 760? 765. 765. Shout out to the Dominican Republic. Oh my goodness. E, what is he doing out there in the DR if he back there tonight, boy? Oh my goodness. Juan Soto, send the plane, baby. I'm coming. Send the plane, Juan Soto.
What's that?
Oh my goodness. E.
That's almost a third of a Billy.
No, that's more than a third, Eric. That's more than 2/3 of a Billy. What do you mean? A third is only 333 million. He got more than 2/3 of a Billy. What do you mean? He got more than 3/4 of a Billy, because the 3/4 would be 750.
3/4 of a Billy.
3/4 of a Billy. Come on, man. Yo, E. Let me say this, E. And I knew the Mets were gonna get him. Didn't I say that, E? Honestly,
I'm giving you props on it. You did say that.
I knew the Mets were gonna outbid the Yankees, bro. I knew the conservative Steinbrenners, and I knew Cohen, who's the richest owner in baseball, I believe, was going to keep going until he got him. I think, honestly, if the Yankees, listen, they just kept driving up the price. The Yankees, if they would have matched, they probably matched earlier, Cohen went higher. The Yankees matched Cohen. At some point, the Yankees probably said, look, because I heard the Yankees offered him $760. They said the Yankees offered him $760. But I guess Cohen said, okay. Then Cohen said $765. And then they said match it, and the Yankees was like, bro.
And no deferred money. No deferred money, Frank. No deferred money.
Ooh. What a deal. But by the way, E, I don't think no player is worth that, to be honest with you. Right? But E, he's a bad boy, though. E, I've always said that. He's awesome. But let me say this, Eric. The reason why I don't think he's worth more than Ohtani, in my opinion, okay? And by the way, Ohtani's contract, since so much money is deferred, it's only in terms of current money, it's like 400 and something million. But let me tell you, I don't think he's better than Ohtani, right? Because that Asian market that Ohtani allows you to tap into is way bigger than what you can tap into with Soto. Ohtani's worth more money as it relates to merge, gear, and a whole Asian market that's untapped as it relates to MLB and the Dodgers. So E, big money. But shout out Soto. Shout out to him.
It's gonna be a party in DR, boy. Woo, child.
E, Soto sent me the plays, man. All right, E. Well, listen, man. Always great to have you on the show, E. Always good, my brother. All right. We'll do it again. Enjoy the rest of your day, man.
We out.
We out.